All right, welcome. Today, we're going to crack the code on the real language of business. We're talking about how to look at a company's financial reports and see the actual story. What's really going on behind the scenes?
I mean, think about it for a second. You see all the flashy ads, the big product launches, but how do you really know if a company's solid, if it's built to last? Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight, right in its financial statements. That's where you find the true story, the unvarnished facts about its health and where it's headed.
Okay, so where do we even begin? To get a grip on financial analysis, you first have to understand who's reading these reports and why they're doing it. Because believe me, there are a bunch of different people looking at these numbers and they all have their own specific goals.
And this really highlights two big players in the game. You've got your equity analysts on one side, they're hunting for growth, for that next great investment. Then, on the other side, you have credit analysts. They're all about one thing: managing risk. Can this company pay back what it owes? That's their main question.
But look, it's not just about deciding whether to buy a stock or lend some money. No way. Financial analysis is used for so much more. You might be evaluating how well a part of a larger company is doing. Or maybe you're trying to find a stock that's way overvalued so you can short it. It's even crucial for big private equity deals.
All right, so if you're ready to play financial detective, what tools do you actually need? Well, all the clues you're looking for are waiting inside a company's financial reports. And these reports are really just a handful of key documents. Okay, your main go-tos are what we call the big three financial statements. You've got the balance sheet, the income statement, and the statement of cash flows. But, and this is super important, the numbers alone don't give you the full picture. You've got to dig into all the extra info, especially the notes. That's where a company explains how they came up with their numbers. And probably one of the most useful bits of that extra info is something called the Management's Discussion and Analysis, or just MD&A for short. This is where the company's own leadership team gets to talk. They'll tell you about the business, what they think of past results, and, crucially, what they see coming down the road. You know, the MDA gives you this amazing context, straight from the horse's mouth. It helps you understand the why behind all the numbers. But, and here's the catch, this section is typically unaudited. What does that mean? It means a smart analyst doesn't just take their word for it. You have to read it with a critical eye, always on the lookout for spin or a story that doesn't quite match the hard data.
So you've got this pile of documents in front of you. Statements, notes, the MD&A. It can feel like a lot, right? A little overwhelming. Well, that's exactly why the pros don't just jump in randomly. They use a structured framework to guide them through it all. Think of this framework as your roadmap. It's a step-by-step process that makes sure your analysis is thorough, that it's logical, and that you're building from raw data all the way to a solid conclusion. Basically, it stops you from getting lost in the weeds.
So what does this roadmap actually look like? Well, it breaks down into 6 essential steps. And these are the steps that are going to help you turn all that complex financial data into something you can actually use, real actionable insights.
And here you can see the whole journey laid out. It kicks off with figuring out your purpose and goes all the way through to following up later on. See how each step just flows right into the next? This creates a really solid, repeatable process you can use every single time. So, phase 1 is all about getting set up. First, you've got to be clear on your purpose. Why are you doing this? Are you looking at a stock, a loan, something else? Then, you go out and collect all your data: financial statements, reports, industry info, the whole shebang. And finally, you process it. That means organizing it, maybe making some adjustments so you can compare apples to apples, and calculating all your key ratios. Okay, once all that data is processed and ready to go, the real fun begins: the analysis and interpretation. This is where you start using that data to answer your big question from step 1. After that, you pull it all together, developing your conclusions and putting them in a clear report. But you're not done yet. The final step is follow-up. You've got to check back in periodically, see if anything's changed that might affect your original call. So what's the big picture here? Why does all this matter? Well, once you master this framework, it's like getting a new superpower. It gives you this powerful lens to cut through all the noise and make truly informed decisions based on a real understanding of a company's health. Ultimately, what this process does is transform what seems like an intimidating puzzle into a clear and understandable picture. It gives you the confidence and the skills to figure out what a company's really worth, how it's actually performing, and what risks are on the horizon. Honestly, it's a must-have skill for pretty much any investor, lender, or business leader out there. So, there you have it. You now have the exact same roadmap that the pros use to find the stories hidden inside the numbers. The only question left is, which company story are you going to uncover first?